color of choice. Now, the silver is in the lead, and final look, guys and gals, last call on that silver. So if you want that silver, definitely you need to, be pronto and get it. There's our great little race car red. I love this pink. It's interesting, we are calling this metallic pink, but it really is kind of a flamingo or that guava pink. I just think it's adorable. That's actually my favorite color in the set. Here's our rose gold, our copper, and our blue, separate gift box packaging. So separate gift box packaging, over 25,000 spoken for. This is an annual tradition for us here at HSN. And boy, oh boy, you do need to grab it. We'll guarantee Christmas delivery. We're doing 5 flexible payments, so it's less than $5 to get it at home. Marion Getz is here, and I have to say, this is a labor of love because whether people cook a little, whether they cook a lot, the seasoning, even if it's something as simple as putting salt on a steak or pepper on a salad, makes a big difference.
It makes a huge difference. And if you love restaurant food, but you think your own food is bland, it could be literally as simple as that salt and pepper. When you grind pepper fresh, because each of those pepper berries has essential oils in it, just the way coffee does, that is released the minute you start to grind it, and it's this pop of flavor and that lovely floral. There's so many different levels of taste and nuance in peppercorns like this. So if you're trying to use the stuff that comes pre-ground by someone else, no wonder your food doesn't taste the same. A restaurant that's really great would never do that. Fresh is best, and it really does change the flavor profile. So for Wolfgang, he buys great spices and grinds them fresh right when they're needed. I love that he's given this design. There's that little light that's built in, but there is a ceramic grinder in the bottom of this. So it doesn't matter if you're doing pepper, if you're doing really great salt, it can handle all of that. All the kind of dry, kind of firm spices. You can make your own blends and kind of use that as the guideline for it, but it is such a great way to season your food. Just one touch of a button can make the difference between food that's really bland and food that sings.
It's true, and especially if you do have dexterity issues like I do, this is a godsend. It's simple, it's easy, it makes your food more flavorful, and when I said earlier, even if they're a drive-through king or queen, it doesn't matter because you got it. We're all salting something, we're all putting pepper on something, and even if it's not pepper, you could do even, like as an example, I do bulletproof coffee and I do Himalayan pink salt, but I also do cinnamon. So I could put like little cinnamon sticks and Himalayan pink salt in the grind. So you can really customize, whether it's sweet, whether it's savory, but you're also in complete control of how coarse or how fine it is.
Absolutely, and it couldn't be easier. Once you put whatever you want inside of it, it's just right here. You're just gonna twist. When you tighten it, the grind gets much finer. And the more you open it up, the larger it becomes. Large is perfect for finishing. Like on a steak, that pop of pepper when you can bite into it and it's that little bit of heat and all those floral notes. Or on salt where it's got that crunch that adds another element of texture. And as chefs, we're always searching for those things because they exist everywhere, but it elevates the food. Wolfgang is a genius at knowing that. His steakhouses use all of those tricks.
They do.
And you should too. You should learn from him. And he brings them to us every year, usually a slightly different design and always those new colors that we love. That's why we collect them even after all these years. But that is the difference. And if you're still using this kind of salt, like so many of us learned from a mom, or grandma, this, because of that iodine, Shannon, the taste on your tongue, if you were to really taste it side by side, and that's how you have to taste something if you really want to know the difference. Tastes great salt next to this. This one tastes kind of medicinal in a really bad way. And then the pepper that was ground who knows when has this really gross, chalky, dusty taste that wouldn't elevate the taste of anything, so why would you use it? This is really no better because those plastic burrs, they wear out. First of all, you'll never get all of this ground before this thing dies. And then this is kind of smashing it. It's not grinding it on a burr, so it's a very different thing.
So remember, it doesn't rust or oxidize. It's a perfect grind every time with that ceramic. And some of the convenience features, like you said, Marianne, it has, I love this really kind of tapered or flared design. It feels really good in the hand. And then that little cover is something that customers asked for.
It is, because you got tired of wiping up your counter, your stove, your dining room table, wherever you stored the meals. But I love that crystal clear part where your spices go, because you can see what's in there. There's the cover that keeps whatever surface it's on, pristine. And then this is the ceramic grinding gear that's in it. That's important because it does not corrode and it's really strong and durable. But one button right on top, a nice big button, all you do is tap on it to deliver as much spice as you want to your food. You turn that dial to control the coarseness or fineness, and it's even lighted with a cute little LED light. When you go to fill it, the opening is oversized, so it's completely easy to fill. They're gorgeous, they're Wolfgang Puck, and I'm so honored, Jen, when he allows me to show you his things at a time like this where he can't be here because he's with his family. But look at how gorgeous and then how easy. One button and you're grinding away and you're making your food sing, right?
You are. And I'll tell you, one of my favorite tips that I learned from Wolfgang and from you, Marion, is that I didn't realize how putting black pepper on Parmesan cheese in particular, but on cheeses makes,
right?
It is like, holy cow, it's a transcendent experience. I thought I didn't like Parmesan. I'm serious. And then when you cube it, or really any cheese for that matter, it just makes it pop.
And a little bit of oil kind of makes the pepper stick. But you're right, it's a totally different thing. And think about this, if you were to entertain, this is the ultimate no-cook cooking.
How easy is that?
Blow your guest mind, and I think that's why this style of dining is so popular.
I know. Check that out.
But you've just elevated it by grinding that pepper,
that is so
right?
good.
Right on top of it at the last minute.
It just makes it pop, doesn't it? But the same is true with salt. Salt is what really brings out that flavor.
And if it was a really mild cheese, like say a mozzarella, I think it's great to open up that gear nice and wide so you can get big crystals of the salt, because then when you bite into that soft, almost one-dimensional cheese, and then you get that crunchy pop of the larger pieces of the salt. See how they're nice and large now? And that's just by you turning that little dial. So you're in control of how fine or how coarse you want that to be.
Makes a big difference.
And there's that little LED light that's built in. So even if you're in a candlelight dinner, you're gonna be able to see exactly. Look, see how nice and large that grind is?
It is.
But one button touch.
One button touch. Now here's the thing. We see you there. Grab it and get it. Choose your color of choice with well over 26,000 sold. Silver is in the lead and last call. Silver in the lead and last call. There's your metallic red. It really looks like a luxury automobile. Here's our we're calling it metallic pink, but it's really kind of that guava or flamingo pink. I just think it's adorable. Here's our rose gold, there's our copper, there's our blue. It's really like a lapis blue. And then of course, buy one and gift one. These gift boxes, no kidding, if you keep one for yourself, no one's gonna know. No one's gonna be the wiser because they are in their own separate gift boxes. We're going to guarantee delivery. It's gonna be there by Christmas. It's less than $5 on your credit card. 685-688. I hope you do it, because at this point, not only is Christmas literally spitting distance from today, we're gonna get it there by Christmas for no additional cost. And we are in the home stretch, at least in terms of the days that we can say that. Marion, I think it's kind of helpful to give a tour of the unit as well, because the features, Wolfgang was very thoughtful about how he did this. Not that it just looks good, but that it's going to perform for a long time to come.
It is, and we want you to see how easy it is, because he really has thought of all the ways that makes this your friend, where you're like, oh my gosh, I'm so glad I have that. But this is how you do it. When you get it and you're ready to fill it, you'll see that there's a little arrow on this part of it, and then right below it, there's a little lock and an unlock symbol. So to get into it, all you're going to do is twist to the unlock, and that takes off this outer housing. This part holds the batteries. It does hold 6 of the AAAs. I cook almost every single day at home, and I will tell you that mine lasts for about a year. That lets you get in, when you take off this part, to the opening where you're gonna add your spices. See this nice oversized area that's kind of beveled downward? It helps funnel whatever you put in inside of there. And then that clear window, you're gonna see exactly what you're doing. And then the bottom that Wolfgang put that cover on, so that you keep your counters, your dining room table, wherever you keep this mill, it's not gonna have the little bits that come out of a burr. When you have something that grinds like that, that's just the nature for little bits to be up in there. And then through you jostling or setting it down, a little bit could drop out. We don't want to have to do any extra cleanup, and Wolfgang certainly doesn't want you to. And you asked for this, and I love that he listens to you. I think that's how this relationship has gotten to be so great.
I think so.
You ask, Wolfgang delivers, and it just gets better.
It does indeed. And boy, oh boy, the only thing that I can tell you, at least speaking from personal recommendation, is yes, I collect one. You know, I collect them from year to year, because each design is slightly elevated or slightly different, but you're gonna want more than one of these. So do yourselves a favor now, get it, because if you intend on giving one as a gift, you're gonna wanna keep them both to yourself.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you really will. I'm just telling you. So you might wanna consider getting more than one set. Bow and Go, this is the gift box packaging, less than a $5 bill, less than a $5 bill to get this home or have it delivered. I'm having everything from HSN sent to my mom's farm. I had to ship one of the boxes, and it wasn't even a big box to my mom and dad's farm. It was $100, $100, just in an average size box to make sure that it got there in time for Christmas. Plus, I had to stop at that, at the post office and that other shipping place. And those poor clerks and the post office, I swear to you, they looked like they were gonna cry. I mean, there were people out the door. You don't wanna deal with it. So let us do the heavy lifting. Oh, what is in that?
So this is that cinnamon one and a little bit of nutmeg. If you love the pumpkin pie kind of thing, or if you love to go to the coffee shop and put that little sprinkle of cinnamon, you know how long and how ago that cinnamon was ground? So it just has barely that little whiff of cinnamon. When you put a crunched up cinnamon stick in here, the perfume that comes off of it from one little grind blows your mind. And it is just such a beautiful treat. If you love your morning coffee like I do, that is the secret to that.
That's a great idea. So put that mix, put that blend in, and then put it back in the box and give it as a gift. They will lose their mind. And it's so thoughtful. My brother Chad is really good at this in the family. He nails those gifts that people use. You know what I mean? There's always somebody in the family who just, do gifts so you go, huh, you didn't realize you needed it until you got it kind of thing. And this is one of those gifts. It's probably not, as an example, if you're watching this show, especially if you're new, welcome in. Wolfgang Puck, you know that name. He does this once a year and once a year only, and this is the final show before we raise that price. It's a new elevated design. It's the best price ever. It is Bow and Go with the separate gift box packaging. You can only get it here now for less than $5 in guaranteed delivery. But this is the kind of gift, if you are new, maybe you didn't turn on HSN tonight saying, you know what, I gotta get me a spice mill. You know, it's not that, but once you get them at home, you can't imagine what you really did before you had them. It's like, gosh, I didn't really know what I was missing, basically.
And I think you said it exactly right. I think of all the gifts that Wolfgang has given his chefs, we love them. We were so blown away by the beautiful spice that you have at one fingertip. Because in the past, we've always had the kind where you're doing either the big handle that sticks out past it, or it's one of these kind of things. But to have it be one touch makes you more efficient while you're doing the cooking. And if you want to do a steak, maybe it's even just a pan-seared steak, to do a nice large grind of this is that King's pepper blend where it's got the white, the pink, the dark, and then also just a couple of little allspice berries for that beautiful aroma. And then the salt when you're finishing a steak, open it up wide so you can have the nice crunch of little crystals on top. You're not putting a lot. It's not about over seasoning your food. It's about adding a whole layer of texture on top of the sear on that steak.
And we've got it for you now and for this show. This is the last show of the visit, of course, everything guaranteed delivery by Christmas. It's such a thoughtful gift because they will use it. It is gender friendly. If you don't know what to get the gal or guy in your life, and even if they don't cook. See, that's the real beauty to this. They don't have to cook. We're all seasoning something. We are. I mean, even if it's, whether it's takeout or something from the deli at the grocery store, we're all seasoning something. But boy, oh boy, how you season and how well you season makes a big difference in that taste. And look at how precise that is.
So I just showed you the 3 different levels. So this is quite fine. This is kind of in the middle. And then this is much more open where it's the larger pieces that would add that lovely little pop of heat and taste. And that's just by dialing the little guy on the bottom. The tighter it is, the finer the grind.
Sure, makes sense. So remember, we can send it to you. We can guarantee that delivery. We'll deliver it across the miles. You just have to pick that color of choice. Silver is outselling the other colors more than 2 to 1. That, if you don't know what color to get, I think we could all make the argument silver is a winner for everybody. Even if they don't have a stainless steel kitchen that works with everything. Metallic red, one of my personal favorites, but I'm loving the pink. We call this metallic like pink, but it's kind of like that guava or that flamingo color. Rose gold, it's a given. It's one of the most popular colors that we're seeing in electronics and jewelry right now. The copper and or you can choose the lapis, that beautiful blue. 685688. Only until 12 midnight. So only until 12 midnight. Make sure, and here's what I'd recommend. Make sure that you get it. But Marion, since he only does that gift box packaging once a year, gosh, this is something I would stock up on because there's always gonna be a wedding. There's always gonna be an anniversary. There's always gonna be a housewarming. There's always gonna be that, oh, I forgot that person moment. Whether it's the Christmas season or not, we have that year round where we wanna be able to have something to give somebody.
And what that perfect price where you stockpile it. And when people open up that gift and they see that box that has his name on it, they're just gonna know that it's something great. And 3 times a day at least, we all become starving. And that's when you're like so glad to have anything extra that's from the kitchen. And it's Wolfgang, so he knows the best, I think, about seasoning food, about how to make it pop. And when seasoning your food and making it taste better, when elevating it can be as simple as pushing one little button.
So cool.
And doing this, it's huge.
It is huge. So, wow, oh, wow. I know we are busy. So, I'm approaching that 27,000 mark once a year and once a year only. Do not let this pass you by because we'll wait a full year for it to happen. Frankly, this is the best price, best features, bow and go, gift box packaging, the Wolfgang Puck stamp of quality and authority on every box and on every design, but do not let it pass you by. And you can tell that's fresh pepper because I even get a little choked up.
Oh, I know, right?
Right? It's like that aroma and those essences and the oils.
Makes my mouth water.
It does, makes you hungry. Well, I have to say, you will love it and really consider getting more than one set because you're gonna wanna keep it for yourself. I'm just speaking from personal experience. Well, Marianne, great to have you here today.
Thank you
so much.
Thank you so much.
Greg, thank you, our partner in crime as well. And thank you as well. If you got that blender, you have 40 minutes to qualify for that price. 40 minutes.